Hey, it's Chandra with Piano at a Glance. Welcome back to the channel. And in this lesson, we're going to be talking about how to read notes on the piano. So if you're new to piano or you need a refresher course, this is the perfect lesson for you. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so what we're looking at here is what's called the grand staff. And the grand staff has a few different symbols on it. One of the symbols is what's called a treble clef. And the treble clef represents our right hand notes. And down here, we have what's called the bass clef. And that represents our left hand notes. And of course, this symbol here is what's called a time signature. And I actually go over time signatures in another video. So we also have, for each staff, 5 lines. And 4 spaces. Okay? And the note names come from the first 7 letters of the alphabet. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So those are the only notes you have to worry about when reading music. So any of these notes can fall on either a line or a space in the treble clef or the bass clef staff. Okay? So let's just go over quickly about the geography of the keyboard. So we have, on a piano, we have a sequence of 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2, 3. Okay? And so I want you to use these keys as a guide to help you figure out the white keys. Okay? So if you notice, as I go up the keyboard, the pitch gets higher. If I go down, the pitch gets lower. So to the left is a lower pitch, to the right is a higher pitch. Okay? So, now that we've discussed that, let's quickly go down and talk about the right hand, so the treble clef staff, lines. Okay, so these are the notes that fall on the lines in the treble clef. So we have the notes E, G, B, D, and F. Okay? So with these notes, the E is here. So if you look for 2 black keys, to the right of the second black key is an E, okay, which is the one that falls on the first line, okay? The next note we have is the G, which is here. So you find a group of 3 black keys. And in between the first 2, you have your G. So there are your Gs. Okay? And then the next note, find your group of 3 black keys. To the right of 3 black keys is a B. So this is the B that's on the staff. But as you can see, it repeats, just gets higher, okay? Same thing, so for the D, find a group of 2 black keys. and it's right in the middle. There's your D. And then for the last one, the F, find your group of 3 black keys. To the left of that, there are your Fs. Okay? So, let's go ahead and discuss how do you remember this. Well, the way I remembered it is every good boy does fine. So, each word starts with one of the letters on the line. Okay, so remember from bottom to top is E, G, B, D, and F, not the other way around. Okay, so this is something that you want to memorize. You don't have to use every good boy does fine, but you can come up with whatever helps you to remember. Okay? So now let's go over to the side here and we'll talk about the spaces in the treble clef. So with the spaces, these are the notes, and the note names are F, A, C, and E. Okay? So as you can see, it just spells the word face, so you don't really need to come up with any kind of rhyme or phrase to go along with this. So remember, from the bottom space to the top space, F, A, C, E. You don't want to do it the other way around, okay? So where we're at on the keyboard with this is, so we have an F. So find your group of 3 black keys. Just to the left of the first one on the left, first black key on the left, is your F. Okay? So there's your F on the staff, but as you can see, it goes higher as well. Okay? The next note is an A, so you find your group of 3 black keys, and the one in the middle of the last 2 black keys is your A. Okay? And now your C is here, so you find your group of 2 black keys. To the left of the 2 black keys is the C. Okay? And then to the right of the 2 black keys would be your E. Okay? So we have a range from this F to this E here for the spaces. Okay? And then for the lines, we have from E to F. Okay? All right. So now I want to just add a few, or just show you 2 more notes here for the right hand that are really important. So we have this note, and this note. If I could get it to come out right. Okay? So these 2 notes, this note here is middle C. Okay, and middle C is found right in the middle of the keyboard. Okay, so you find your 2 black keys, and to the left of the 2 black keys, right in front of you, is your C, your middle C. And the note next to it is D. Okay? So we have the middle C here, and then in between the 2 black keys, the next white key up is your D. Okay? So that C, just remember, it's in the middle of the keyboard, and it has this right here, this little line going through it. It's called a ledger line. Okay? So when you see a note that's not on the staff, or it's written below or above the staff, then you will see those ledger lines. But for right now, we're just going to keep it really simple and leave it at that. Okay, so now let's jump down to the left-hand notes. Okay, so with the left hand, we're going to go over the lines. So in the left hand, we have the notes G, B, D, F, and A. Okay? So the way I remembered this is you could say, good boys do fine always. You can come up with whatever you want. Again, for that, just make sure that when you say the phrase, that you start with the bottom line first, okay? So it's from bottom to top, G, B, D, F, and A. Okay, so when we go on the keyboard and look at this, you want to, for the first note, G, you want to find so here's your middle C. Now you want to find the group of 3 black keys, not this one, but the one down here. And then you find the first 2, and here's that G. Okay? And then you find, for the next note, the group of 3 black keys, but the note to the right is your B. And then you have a group of 2 black keys. The white key in the middle is your D. And then your F is to the left of the 3 black keys. And then your A it's right, you find your 3 black keys, and then the first 2 on the right, it's right in the middle. Okay? So, let's go over and talk about the spaces. Go ahead and add these in. Okay, so with the spaces, you have the notes A, C, E, and G. So the way I remember this one is all cows eat grass. Okay, and so I'm saying again from the bottom space to the top space. A, C, E, G. Okay? So you don't want to get that backwards either. All right, so to find those notes, we find the 3 black keys. Here's our middle C here. Okay, so we skip this one and we go down to here. And the first 2 black keys on the right of the group of 3 in the middle is our A. Then we have our C. Find the 2 black keys. To the left of that is our C. To the right of the 2 black keys is your E. And then find your group of 3 black keys. In between the first 2 is your G. Okay? So, one more note that I wanted to point out here is going to be this one. Oops. Okay, so you may be wondering, okay, well, what is that? Okay, if I draw this here, it's the same exact note. Okay, so they're both C. Okay. So if you're in the treble clef, the C is going to be played with your right hand, and the C I wrote down in the bass clef is going to be played with your left hand. Okay? So you can sort of think of it as the middle C is dividing the keyboard in half. Okay? But there are going to be times where you will see your left hand would have to play the notes in to the right of the middle C. And the same thing is for the right hand going into the left hand area. You'll see that sometimes your right hand will be in that zone down here, okay? But just think about it for right now for a beginner. Just think of that middle C as dividing the keyboard in half, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to teach you a simple 5-note scale, and I'm going to show you the hand position and everything for it. So we're going to take this one line at a time. So we're going to try the treble clef first, and then the bass clef second. Okay, so the first note in the treble clef, we have a C. So, and that's our middle C, if you remember. So we're going to take our thumb and place it on middle C. So the numbers, the blue numbers that I have written over the notes are finger numbers. So if I put both hands up, our thumbs are 1, index finger is 2, middle finger is 3, ring finger is 4, and the pinky is 5. So you have 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. Okay? So I'm going to place my thumb on the middle C. And so our first note is C. The second note is D. So finger 2 goes on D. And then third note is E, played with finger 3. Finger 4, F. G is played with finger 5. And then back down the scale. Okay, so if I play this with a metronome, okay? All right, so now for the left hand, our pinky is going to be on the first note, which is a C. Okay, so pinky's finger 5, and then our ring finger is finger 4 for the D, and then for the E, finger 3, and then finger 2 for the F, finger 1 for the G, and then back down the scale. Okay, so with the metronome, okay, so once you have both lines down separately, then you can try to play them at the same time. And there you have it. Now you know how to read notes on the piano. If you haven't already, please check out my video called Rhythm and Counting. In that video, I go over the basic note values, how to count them, along with the basic time signatures that you'll need to go along with your note reading. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.